Today's movie is the sequel to the first part of Ne Zha, so if you haven't seen the first part, go watch it right now, because part 2 kicks off with Tai finding a way to reshape the bodies of Ne Zha and Al Bing from scratch. He merges their souls into a magical algae, harvested and ground down by the townspeople. Their bodies are initially sticky like jelly, so Tai has his pig reshape them back to normal. Meanwhile, Bing and Yan arrive, and Bing reassures Tai that his forces are securing the borders, while Tai notes that the dragons keep the monsters locked away, meaning Shen alone isn't a threat. When Ne Zha and Al Bing appear in their new forms, Ne Zha doesn't like his look and wants some modifications. Everyone pitches in with ideas to make him look buff and handsome, but since nothing clicks, the pig hands over the knife for them to do it themselves. While Ne Zha shapes his own body, Tai completes Al Bing's materialization with the water element. Ne Zha ends up creating a bizarre traditional doll-like statue, so his parents ask Tai to just stick with the old look. Suddenly, a guard reports that Shen is launching a solo attack, prompting Bing and Yan to head to the city borders to confront him. Bing declares they are fully prepared and well fortified, but Shen hints that he isn't alone. We flash back 2 hours before the attack. The dragons are blaming their leader, Al Bing's father, for failing to keep the spirit pearl and letting his son get taken away. He claims he was trying to free them, but calls them unlucky and not ready for freedom. One dragon uses his claw to open a magical portal to the monster prison, handing it to Shen to summon forces for his upcoming assault. Back in the present, Shen turns the claw into a sword, opening a massive portal all around the city that rains volcanic lava and thousands of hellish monsters. Tai notices this and orders the palace guards to raise the shield as the massive horde overwhelms the soldiers, destroying everything with flaming fireballs. Bing and Yan fight back with everything they've got. Yan evades a monster's strikes, flies at him with a kick, and destroys him, while Bing manages to strike another one with his spear and ground him. Shen spots the palace shield and flies over, striking it with all his might to stop the resurrection of Ne Zha and Al Bing, but he fails. He then opens another portal, unleashing 3 giant dragons whose combined firepower shatters the shield. Before his body is even fully complete, Al Bing steps in, blocking the dragons with an ice shield. His father, Guang, steps through the portal in human form. Al Bing collapses, apologizing for failing his kind, but Guang reassures him that his safety is all that matters. Ne Zha's body finishes forming, and he rushes to check on Al Bing. Tai warns that since Al Bing's materialization was interrupted, his body will evaporate all over again because the pearl ran out of energy. Al Bing begs his father to stop the attack, right before his body turns to stone and his soul emerges. Ne Zha demands a solution from Tai, who suggests that Al Bing shares Ne Zha's body. Though Guang refuses to allow it, Tai reminds him they share the same pearl anyway, so Al Bing's soul merges into Ne Zha. Guang asks about the next step, and Tai explains they need to visit Sage Wu Yang of the Chan tribe to request the elixir of restoration to make the pearl work. Guang threatens to destroy the tribe if they refuse, but Shen warns that they are legendary warriors. He mentions that Wu Yang holds an annual competition where the winner gets immortality and a magical tool of their choice. Winning this would solve everything for Ne Zha and Al Bing. Ne Zha sets off with Tai, saying goodbye to his parents and the townspeople. On the way, Tai warns him that he must defeat 3 earth monsters without showing any energy from the evil orb. Otherwise, they'll get kicked out. Ne Zha suggests letting Al Bing take control, so Tai tries to train him to relax, but Ne Zha fails and has to take a sleeping pill instead. He falls asleep, his appearance changes, and Al Bing takes over, beating Tai up to test his strength before they continue their way to the Chan kingdom. Wu Yang welcomes them and appoints his student Daru to judge Ne Zha's tests. Meanwhile, Shen is training when Bing meets him and asks him to open a path outside the city to get medicine and provisions for the wounded. But Shen refuses to let anyone out who knows the secret of the pearl and the battle. Suddenly, monsters capture a boy who turns out to be Shen's brother, Xiao Bao, proven by his demon tiger transformation. Shen hugs him, and Xiao Bao explains their father sent him, expecting Shen to take him to Wu Yang's palace now that he can turn human. Seeing the ruined city, Xiao Bao asks what happened, and Bing covers for Shen, calling him a hero protecting them from evil forces. Shen gives Xiao Bao magical pills that grant 10 years of training, telling him to postpone the trip. To return the favor to Bing, Shen asks for the medicine list so he can bring it to him. Ne Zha begins his first test against a squirrel tribe, making their lunch soup. He challenges their leader, takes a sleeping pill, and Ao Bing takes over to show off his power. The intimidated leader passes his hammer to a henchman, but Ne Zha suddenly wakes up, gets flattened by the hammer, and drops the antidote into the soup. Ne Zha gulps down the whole soup in one shot, bringing Ao Bing back, who easily overpowers the leader. However, the antidote gets thrown up again, leaving Ne Zha's body defenseless. The squirrels beat him to a pulp since he can't use his evil powers, slamming him into a rock. The leader tries to finish him off, but Ne Zha falls asleep just in time. Ao Bing takes over, defeats the squirrels, and pins them to the mountain. Daru declares them victorious and arrests the squirrels for rehabilitation at the palace. The second test is a meditation challenge on wooden stilts in the middle of a lake. Ne Zha joins in, and the master notices his dark circles, mentioning he could teach him to reshape his body if he completes the training. Ne Zha takes a sleeping pill instead, and Ao Bing engages the master in a high-speed battle. Ao Bing manages to land a solid hit on his chin, but the master raises the entire lake with his massive power, attacking with rapid punches and lightning strikes. To counter, Ao Bing freezes the lake to stop the electricity, but the master summons rain clouds to keep conducting the current. Xiao Bao sees the clouds and realizes the master is his father. He rushes to help, but his father is already dominant, wiping the ice with Ao Bing. Just as the master creates an electric blade to finish him, he spots the Chan tribe banner, allowing Ao Bing to freeze his hand and cause him to cut it off by mistake. Recognizing the tribe, the master surrenders, but Xiao Bao arrives and attacks the soldiers. Daru fires a fiery arrow at Xiao Bao, but the master takes the hit instead and flees with him. Daru fires a volley of arrows, but Ao Bing stops him, explaining the boy was just saving his father. Xiao Bao reaches Shen, reporting the attack, and when Shen learns a boy named Ne Zha was responsible, he vows revenge. Daru congratulates Ne Zha and announces the final test against the Demon Queen at Skull Mountain. Suddenly, guards arrive with news of a disaster. The city has been completely burned down and its people charred. Ne Zha finds his mom's helmet and weeps, while Tai avoids Wu Liang's questions about who did it. Finding dragon claws on the rocks, Wu Liang deduces Guang betrayed them and orders the tribe to prepare for war. Ne Zha takes off on his fire wheels, arrives at Skull Mountain, and mercilessly destroys the Demon Queen. She merges with the mountain to become a massive stone giant, but Ne Zha unleashes his ultimate firepower, turning the mountain to a literal hell. Tai catches her remaining fragments in a cage. Back at the palace, Wu Liang grants Ne Zha immortality and lets him choose the elixir of restoration. Guang asks Ne Zha to stand with the dragons, and Ne Zha agrees, but insists on checking his city first. Tai reactivates the pearl, and Ne Zha tells Ao Bing they are square, adding that they might be enemies next time. Tai locks Ao Bing in a cage to keep his promise of safety to Ne Zha, just as the beach monster emerges. Meanwhile, Wu Liang uncovers the underwater dragon prison. Guang steps out and begs for his son's mercy, but Wu Liang refuses, locking the dragons in a massive rising cage. Guang rallies the dragons for revenge, breaking the prison structure. Guang fights off the soldiers, creating a water sword, but Ne Zha arrives to stop him. The cage seals the dragons inside, and when Guang attacks as a dragon, Ne Zha overpowers him and throws him into the cage. Wu Liang praises Ne Zha, promising to turn the dragons into immortality pills for heroes. Grieving his losses, Ne Zha is shocked when his parents appear alive. Ao Bing reveals Wu Liang caused the tragedy by allying with 3 traitorous dragons to destroy the city. Shen had helped his family escape, but the beach monster turned them to stone. Knowing the truth, Neja and Ao Bing attack Wu Liang, whose forces fight back. Daru frees the traitorous dragons, who join Wu Liang against the duo. Overwhelmed, Neja and Ao Bing combine ice and fire to create a smokescreen. Neja disguises himself as a dragon to trick and attack the enemy, while Ao Bing also shapeshifts to deliver a beating before slipping away. Wu Liang turns the cage into a fiery hell, trapping the monsters and dragons. He uses a thorny binding curse on Neja and Ao Bing that threatens to tear them apart if they move, then locks the entire family in the cage. One dragon evaporates into an immortality orb, shocking the group. But Guang orders everyone to create a defensive shield. As Yan begins to faint, Wu Liang offers to save Neja's parents if he takes a forgetfulness pill to serve him. Before Neja can take it, Yan snatches it away, confesses her love, and evaporates into an orb. Exploding with rage, Neja unleashes massive lava, shatters the thorns, and returns to his true form. He hands his parents the orbs, frees Ao Bing, and they fly up to lift the heavy ceiling. Wu Liang counters by dropping a massive magical tree on top of them, but they combine their powers to shatter the cage entirely. Wu Liang transforms into a terrifying form, merging with the tree. Guang defeats Daru and his companion with a powerful beam, while Wu Liang swallows Neja and Ao Bing inside his tree structure. The duo unites. Ao Bing turns into a giant dragon, and Neja uses his peak form to obliterate the tree, sending Wu Liang flying. The traitorous dragons grab Wu Liang and flee with the tribe, leaving the monsters to celebrate. Bing invites Neja to live underwater, but Neja chooses to face the world on his own. Guang takes Ao Bing into the sea, admitting he was wrong to force decisions on him. Ao Bing hugs him and runs back to join Neja, ready to discover the limits of their powers together. Back at the palace, a battered Wu Liang tells Daru they must act before Tianzun returns from his isolation. They head to a stone prison that requires Wu Liang's facial recognition. Because a guard laughs at his swollen face, Wu Liang puts him to sleep for 10 years. Inside, Wu Liang offers to lift a curse on Shen if his father complies, but Shen refuses. His assistant announces the arrival of 2 new warriors, Jineja and Muza. When they return to the gate, Wu Liang's face has healed, meaning the facial recognition no longer recognizes him. Since the guard is asleep for a decade, Daru and the assistant have to beat Wu Liang's face back into shape to match the drawing, but it remains useless. That wraps up our movie today. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for part 3, and check out the other powerful movies on screen. Peace be upon you all. Yeah.